Hi, welcome to Football Podcast, this special episode for the FA Community Shield final review. We were here yesterday with a preview. My name is Ehis Anthony, and I have my other co-podcasters on today's episode in Okwe and Abe. Abe, the Liverpool fan, and Okwe, the Arsenal fan. So I'd like Abe to start with introduction. You were here yesterday, you fumbled, you said Liverpool was going to take it. Now, Arsenal took it. So, what's your say? Introduce yourself as we start the episode.
Yeah, just as Okwe said, we agreed that it was just a friendly match. It's not something for us to tell about and just stress out. We could see from the game itself that the players were not so agitated like that. Even they were trying to calm our youth player that missed the penalty that he should just take it easy. It's just a simple community shield game. So it's not one big deal like that. Immediately we got to penalties, I left where I was watching the match because I knew it was a 50-50 game. I knew that at that moment there is no more bragging right again. It's just luck.
Mm.
So, but the fact is that the team really tried, and I really congratulate my partner here. At least his team give it. I wasn't really expecting much from the Arsenal faithful over there, but yeah, they proved something, and I know it's usually difficult like that, considering the fact that it's the first game of the season after a long break. So you would expect something like this. It's really cool.
Okay, it's a bit quite not audible from Abe's end. I think he has network issues, but we just keep it. We try our best to hear him out, and we hope his network gets better. So let me pass the introduction to Okwe. Arsenal, the winners again, successive victories at the Wembley. They just seem don't want to get away without winning at Wembley. What's your take on tonight's game?
Yeah, definitely. It just seems like, you know what, Arsenal and Wembley Stadium, it's a match made in heaven. Two trophies in 29 days. Aubameyang and Wembley, match made in heaven as well. Keep scoring the crucial goals at Wembley. Look, that Arsenal performance today was very good for a team which has just had barely 5 days of training together as a team. And a couple of those players,
Mhm.
about three players on the field today, only training with the team once, talking about Hector Bellerin, David Luiz, and Emi Martinez himself. Martinez came back from, or rather, he just got called with the team after the isolation period. And it was a great performance from the team. You could see that when Arsenal is playing, they play with a pattern. You can see that there is a gameplay to which they follow, and that's down to Mikel Arteta even with the youngsters in the squad, the likes of Saka, Nelson, look, Willock as well, who came up to do a very good job. The Arsenal team is looking very solid. And I mean, I have to give hats off to Javi and Liverpool as well. I saw a touch of sportsmanship from them. They waited while Arsenal collected the trophy, clapped and applauded. That's what the beautiful
Mhm.
game is all about. And look, it was a great game of football.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the fears I expressed yesterday concerning Liverpool, if you don't get those quality signings in, if Klopp does not manage to ginger these players, I believe they will probably have a below par season. They could have done a whole lot better
Yeah.
in the first half. Yeah, kudos to Arsenal. Arsenal did play good football. But then with the caliber of players that Liverpool have, when you put them on paper compared to Arsenal, Liverpool should be thrashing Arsenal probably like a 5-1 or 6-1, but that was not the case. And you could see someone like Gini Wijnaldum, his mind was probably not so much in the game. And then that makes me think of what Habi said
Mhm.
yesterday, and maybe he could probably be leaving to Barcelona. So if you've got individual issues
Yeah.
like this, they need to be sorted out. Once again,
Mm.
you saw the impact of not having Jordan Henderson on the field. And I believe that's why Jurgen Klopp is seriously chasing Thiago Alcantara.
Yeah, it
But
was it
once
was
again,
greatly it was greatly missed. Yeah.
yeah. But then once again, we know that Liverpool is not willing to splash the cash. That's a major reason why they lost Timo Werner to Chelsea. But I believe that
Mhm.
look, Thiago Alcantara is worth every penny that Bayern Munich would believe he's valued at. Someone who basically ran the knockout stages of the Champions League for them. He was a stalwart of a midfielder, always controlling the game. So look, Liverpool need quality signings and they need to get this done as soon as possible. But once again, congratulations to Arsenal.
Yeah. Abe, What's your take? What was the learning point? Or what did Jurgen Klopp did wrong, or what didn't he do right? Was he supposed to start a certain player that he didn't start? Because when he brought in Minamino, he brought in this other guy. He made the switch. We saw the changes that happened. We saw how Liverpool upped their game and they took the game to Arsenal, which led to that equalizer. Do you think Jurgen Klopp should have started with that sort of formation and should have just blown Arsenal out and see how, oh, Abbey left.
Oh,
Abbey left. I think he's beginning to have some. Yeah, I think before we started, though, he had network issues. But the
yeah.
show continues. But so let's just switch to Arsenal. It's surprising to see that even Arteta didn't bring any of the new signings on into the game. Rather, the likes of
Mhm.
Saliba, the likes of Willian. I think this is just the only two players have signed, and you could
Correct.
still see. But in terms of game management, they were able to manage the game.
No
They
doubt.
made it difficult for Liverpool to even. I think that was their first shot on target, the goal by Minamino. They
Yeah.
made it difficult for Liverpool and made it really, really hard. We didn't see Firmino, which normally in this kind of games he turns up. We didn't see him. He didn't come to the party. Even Salah too struggled. Mane too a bit huffed and puffed here and there. What credit do you have to give to Arteta? What credit do you have to give to him in terms of this game that he pulled
First of
off this
all, it's
masterclass again?
yeah. First of all, it has to be the setup of the team when they play with a 3-4-3, and sometimes it looks like a like a 5-2-1 basically, and that goes to show you that Arteta has learned from this team while he was at the helm at Manchester City. Now, what has he really done? What's so fantastic about what he has done? Now, the system of football which they play helps them to do two things. The first thing is that it helps them to curb their defensive mistakes. The second thing is that it helps to
Yeah.
bring balance to the team. A lot of times under Emery, you will see individual mistakes from certain players like David Luiz, Socrates,
Yeah,
Kolasinac. I
calamitous
mean,
defending. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. I could keep naming people, but you know what? With this formation, the team is a whole lot more compact. Um, like I said, it's very hard for you to pick out a single individual and say that they don't do well. Just look at that build up to the goal. The pass from Emi Martinez straight to El Neni back to
Hmm.
Holding to Bellerin. Bellerin plays a straight ball to Bukayo Saka, and he looks up. That's what I love about that young
Hmm.
man. He does not play with fear. He's not playing ball with his head on the ground. He looks up like a professional, like someone who is 33 years old and has been playing the game for a
Yep.
long time. And then he sees his captain in a very good position, switches the gameplay to the other flank, and Aubameyang just being the fantastic person that he is, he brings the ball, controls it very well, and brings the ball infield. The first thing he does before he takes that strike is to create a diversion, allowing Kieran Tierney to run past, and then he leaves the Liverpool defense startled. So they're now thinking about
Yeah.
what to do. Is Aubameyang going to pass the ball to Xhaka? Is he going to pass the ball to Tierney as a through ball,
To
or is he going
Tierney.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, or is he going to strike? And I mean, what is struck by Aubameyang? Also, when you look at the Arsenal attackers and the way they are shaped up, is good in terms of ball retention because you have an Alexander Lacazette who loves to press and who can press effectively. Same thing with Eddie Nketiah. When these strikers do that, this then provides space for the likes of Aubameyang, Pepe, and Saka. And then we talk about the midfield. You have players in Edani Ceballos last season and Granit Xhaka who know how to control a game and who know how to hold the ball. El Neni is not the best with the ball at his feet, but he's someone who is definitely energetic and who would help with pressing and
Hmm.
who would help with the
Yep.
transition from defense to attack. And he did that brilliantly well. For me, yeah, a couple of areas in which Enelni needs to improve on. If Arsenal manages to sign Thomas Partey, Hosem Hawa, or even if Ceballos comes back, I really don't see a future
Hmm.
for El Neni at the club. I mean, that's a major reason why he was on loan last season. But look, credit to Mikel Arteta. He knows the best way in which to make this team compact and the best way in which to make this team click. Once Mikel Arteta gets his own set of players, set of players that he believes can make his own preferred system work, you will then see us now switch to a 4-3-3. But till then, they will continue to play in this manner to make it difficult for teams to beat them. A lot of the big teams have found it difficult to beat Arsenal. Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, even Manchester United as well. as you saw last season. So what Arsenal now need to do is to know how to grind out the win against the lesser teams. We saw that against Sheffield United. They were able to do that because a trophy was at stake, to be honest. But then we saw shocking losses to Brighton, and but I believe the players have learned from that. Arteta himself has learned from that, and he knows the personnel to put on the field for certain games. And then you take a look at other players who has been able to instill confidence in talking about the likes of Ainsley Maitland-Niles. We've seen a turn in form for Hector Bellerin, looking like the Bellerin we once saw before, who was one of the most sought after fullbacks in the world. He's playing much better football now. And Ainsley Maitland-Niles right now is one of, I believe,
Think,
one of the most important utility players in football right now. When we say it's utility players, we talk about the likes of James Milner, talk about the likes of Arturo Vidal, talk about the likes of probably a Blaise Matuidi, a Marquinhos, a
yeah.
Marco Verratti, and then you see Maitland-Niles slowly easing into that type of mold of a footballer. And I'm glad that Arsenal has that type of player. And Arsenal need such players. And hopefully, rumors of him probably going to Wolverhampton Wanderers are put to bed immediately. And probably he signs a new contract to remain at Arsenal. I understand the hunger and the desire to want to play first in football regularly, but you
Yeah.
need to show that you are a master in the art that you play. You need to secure a starting position. So right now, he's probably not the best fullback at Arsenal, probably not the best midfielder, but whenever he is on the pitch, he gives in a decent performance. So look, the future looks good for Arsenal, especially under Arteta. If the club has the finances to get the sort of players that he needs, then look, all the best to Arsenal.
I think Abby joins us back.
Yeah,
Abby
yeah.
joins us. Can Abby? Yeah, because we thought the defeat is affecting the network, but it's good to have you back, man.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
So I was asking before you left the broadcast and you came back. I said, looking at what happened during the game, did you think Klopp didn't manage the game well because at the time he made those substitution, bringing on Minamino and also this other guy into the game? What was the second player he brought in? Minamino and I think I mentioned his name the other time, where he had to
Rebrace,
switch.
No, Jones, Curtis
Yeah,
Jones.
yeah, Curtis Jones.
yeah, Jones. We saw the whole game. We saw the game changed. We saw Liverpool, you know, brought the game to Arsenal, which led to the equalizer, which also was the first target on goal for Liverpool. Do you think what do you think Klopp should have done right, or what did Klopp do wrong?
Just like what Okpe said, I would like to buttress his point. The Liverpool team is in such a way that is a compact team. When one part of it is
Yep.
missing, the other players find it difficult to actually cope or to actually get the rhythm straight. Just today, two key players are missing from that squad or from that lineup. We take away the first person, Jordan Anderson, and the second person as Alexander Arnold. The
Mm-hmm.
missing Anderson in that midfield didn't really show that much. But the vacuum there was
Yeah.
Alexander Arnold. Alexander Arnold missing in that game really gave Williams deputizing for him in that position really gave Aubameyang a whole lot of time and a whole lot of space to explore, and that was what resulted into the first goal. If it were Alexander
Mm-hmm.
Arnold, you could see that from the Liverpool's perspective, we could not make crosses from that particular end. We were only using the
Yeah, it
Robertson
was
wing,
just Robertson.
yeah,
Robertson alone.
Robertson
Yeah.
wing to actually attack
Mm-hmm.
just one way. So it was really, really difficult for us using the other. Had it been Arnold was there, it would have been a whole lot of pressure on us now. I probably would have gotten it very easy than this. But because of the other wing has
Mm-hmm.
collapsed, that's why I said it's a compact team. And just like what my
Oh, I think Abe is gone again. The network just keeps acting up, man. Abe, you still there? Mm. Well, he was about giving us some analysis there concerning Robertson and Aden being Trent Alexander Arnold was in the game. But to be fair as well, Arsenal didn't have some of their top guns. Lacazette wasn't there.
True,
Pepe wasn't there. And
true.
this other player, Ceballos, which could have given because it got to a time. El Neni was tired. He was running on empty. He just
Yeah.
had to because as of then nobody was pushing for
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal. Nobody was initiating the attack from the midfield. It was just Aubameyang holding on play on the left hand, and just they just had to manage the game. But kudos to Arteta again etching out this victory twice now. He's defeated Klopp, he's defeated Chelsea, and also defeated Man City. So does the management do they need to back Arteta up? If he says this is the type of player that I want to carry out or to execute the entire season, do you think it would be fair on Arteta for the management, the Arsenal management, the Arsenal board to back him up?
Of course, look, he has proven that he knows what he's doing. He has proven that his project is well underway and there is a target. I wasn't surprised when Willian said that at the end of his 3 years at Arsenal, Arteta told him that he expects to win the Champions League. So that's a
Yeah.
manager that knows what he's doing. He knows what he wants. He has set timelines already. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Finishing in eighth position was not what he wanted. But I mean, when you don't have the type of players that you need to sacrifice. At a point in the season, he realized that what, fourth place seems far off, but you know what, let's still secure Europa League football. And then they had to sacrifice their league
Mm-hmm.
performance and do much better in the FA Cup. But nonetheless, towards the end of the season, after that Brighton defeat, they woke up and they started playing with a team that had character. One thing he has worked on is the psyche and the mentality of the players. Immediately Arteta took over, the spirits were just lifted in and around the club, both the staff and the players. They now had something to
Mm-hmm.
believe in again. It's different when you play with purpose. It's different when you play
Yeah.
with the mentality that you have something that you want to win, and then you are playing to represent the badge. Look, Arsenal is one of the most prestigious clubs in the world. It's not easy to put on that shirt and to represent that club. So whenever you actually go on the field, you need to keep in mind that look, you are representing one of the biggest clubs in the world. Arteta, who played for Arsenal, is the perfect person to pass across that message to the players. And he let them know that, look, if you don't deserve to put on this jersey, you will not step onto the field. And I believe that's a major reason why we've not seen the inclusion of Guendouzi and Mesut Ozil. If you're not going to be
Mm-hmm.
disciplined and go according to what I say and honor the values of the club, you will not play for this club. That's what it's all about. That's a manager that knows what he wants, not an Unai Emery who asks the players to choose who the captain would be. I mean, who does that? If you know your
Yeah.
onions and you know what you're all
Crazy
about,
man.
yeah, if you know your onions, you know what you're all about, you
Yeah.
know what you stand for, you would pick your captain, you will set up your team in the best way possible. And that's what Arteta has done so far. Look at the crop
True.
of players. Look at the crop of players he has had so far, especially these really young players, and was able to win the FA Cup. And he has been able to
Mm-hmm.
integrate these players into a system of football which works for them. Many of these players don't probably, at first, many of these players would not have preferred the current positions that they do occupy. Talking about the likes of Maitland Niles and probably a Rob Holding, who will be playing, who has been playing a whole lot more with the ball at his feet. We know he's not comfortable with the ball at his feet,
Mm.
but he has had to learn. And anytime when he comes into the team, he gives a very decent performance. Same thing with Danny
And
Ceballos.
that was a
Look,
great and that was a great performance by Holding.
yeah, it was
Marking
a great
out
performance. Definitely.
Sani,
It
Mani
Yeah,
rather. Yeah.
I was skeptical about Rob Holding starting the FA Cup final, but I mean when he did, he
Mm.
actually played well. He's one person who I know is not comfortable with the ball at his feet compared to Mustafi, but it was a great performance by him. You take a look at someone like Danny Ceballos, who is naturally an attacking midfielder, or someone who just likes to play in the final third
Mm-hmm.
in the wings. But Arteta turned him into a box-to-box midfielder. Apart from that, he was still able to play the way he loves to play. He started stringing up attack options. He started creating chances. He was enjoying his football all of a sudden. And that's someone who doesn't even have so much upper body strength, but was still able to hold his own in the middle of the park alongside a general like Granit Xhaka. The same thing goes for Aubameyang. Look, he's a striker. He's an out and out striker, but he was able to convince him to take a step back into that left wing and work a whole lot harder.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't see the hard work that Aubameyang does off the ball. He tracks players and he creates
Great.
chances as well. What else do you want from a
Yeah,
captain, to
he
be
puts
honest?
in.
So with the
Mm,
limited resources that Arteta has had so far, he's been able to do a great job. Now you take a look at the signings he has been able to make so far. Starting from January, he brought in a 26-year-old Pablo Mari, who is proven Premier League quality. Same thing with Cedric Suarez. Same thing with Willian, who he just signed. And then you take a look at the William Saliba, who you know
hmm
that number one, the club, first of all, they have hope in him. And now Arteta also has hope in him. With the game I saw against MK Dons, look, you know that this boy is definitely set for a great future ahead of him. He needs a couple of games under his belt. And another great thing that Mikel Arteta did do was to put trust and actually revive David Luiz. David Luiz has been a much better player under Mikel Arteta, and David Luiz is going to have a pivotal role to play this season. Why is that? Number one is William Saliba. Number two is Gabriel Magalhaes. These are young players, young talented players, right? But then they need a veteran beside them to help them. Number one, settle into the squad, and number two, learn the Premier League and get to know the tricks as soon as possible. Because you know what, time is limited, and Arsenal wants to win trophies. They want to perform exploits. So look, everyone needs to be up with their game. And having someone like David Luiz play alongside
Yeah.
you, a seasoned professional, look, these players will learn a lot and they would get better. So Ateta needs all the support he can get. One thing I do love that the board has done so far was probably getting rid of Rahul Sanheli. Sanheli was strictly in charge of player recruitment and football business, basically. Um,
Yeah.
rumors, yeah, rumor had it that probably he misappropriated funds when it came to the Pepe deal, but all the club has put those
Well,
rumors to bed. You
we're
know,
not sure of that, man. We don't know.
yeah, we're not sure of that. But apart from that, you know what,
Yeah.
getting rid of Raul gives room for Edu and Ateta to actually be in charge and know the types of players that they want. So when Ateta tells Edu that, you
Yeah.
know what, I want this type of player, I need him, they will sit together, evaluate, weigh their options, and get the best option for us now. One thing a lot of people sometimes forget about Edu is that number one, he's a former footballer, once played for Arsenal, and then his previous job was doing the
hmm
same thing he's doing for Arsenal for the Brazilian national team. So he's got experience under him. He's certified and he's well qualified for the position, and he's a brilliant individual. That's a major reason why he was part of the Invincible squad.
Yeah.
So he knows what to look for in a player, irrespective of the nationality of the player. Yeah, a lot of people are saying we are getting good Brazilian players into the squad. Look, if getting good Brazilian players into the squad is going to help us now win trophies, so be it. There was a point in time where it was
hmm
French players, and that's what Arsene Wenger was doing. A lot of people felt like, you know what, Arsene Wenger was turning Arsenal into uh, a
A French
European
squad or a
team.
French
Yeah,
team.
yeah, a French
Yeah.
squad, maybe a European team. But look, these players were getting the job done for Arsene Wenger and were winning trophies. That's the major reason why Arsenal was once an invincible team. Talking about the likes of Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, Patrick Vieira, uh, Laurent. Look, these players, Freddie Ljungberg as well, these players were just that good enough to play in the Premier League. And they were doing the job better than some English players. So if the Brazilian players are going to get the job done for us now, so be it. So Ateta
Yep.
definitely needs to get he needs backing from the board and he needs
From the
finances.
board.
And look, they need to get the job done as soon as possible. The Thomas Partey deal has been dragging for a long time. I know this is probably like a tactic to try and see if Atletico Madrid will bulge and reduce the asking price for Thomas Partey. But you know what? It's not about the valuation for the player right now. It's about the fact that he has a release clause in his contract, and that release clause is valued
hmm
at 50 million pounds. It's non-negotiable, except Partey probably decides to pay a part of that release clause to Atletico Madrid, and Arsenal pay the other.
Which would be difficult, man. Yeah, which would be
It will be,
difficult.
it will be extremely difficult because Thomas Partey is
Yeah.
not out of Barcelona to make the move to PSG. With all due respect to Thomas Partey, so we know Thomas Partey wants to come to Arsenal. Thomas Partey's
Yep.
camp, we want him to come to Arsenal as well. But look, Arsenal need to do their job. And if Arsenal actually happens to sign Thomas Partey for less than 50 million pounds, look, I'm going to dove my heart for them because Kieran Tierney was valued at 50 million pounds by Celtic, but Arsenal stuck to 25 million pounds. And a few weeks before
Yeah.
the transfer window ended, they got their man. And I mean, what a signing in Kieran Tierney. A player of the
What a
caliber
signing, man.
a player of the caliber of Thomas Partey is highly needed in Arsenal. Look, I'll keep saying it. Since Alexander Song left in 2012, Arsenal has not had a solid defensive midfielder. They need that presence in the midfield. They need someone to solidify that midfield so bad. It's long overdue. It's long overdue. So them getting Thomas Partey will be great. Um, I've heard rumors that probably Jose Awa from Lyon might join. But I mean, if Arsenal can secure a loan deal for Danny Ceballos coming back, I don't see the need for Hawa. With Thomas
Okay.
Partey, Xhaka, and Danny Ceballos, look, Arsenal are good to go. And don't forget that you still have Lucas Torreira who can help to play and hold up the game. Same thing with Joe Willock. Willock has a lot of improvements to
Mm.
do. He will get better. As you see with the performance that he put in tonight, he was good enough for me. The job was to try and get a second goal. He was able to try and create opportunities. He had a chance as well with the header. And look, it was decent.
Mm-hmm.
Young players, he's 20 years old. What else do you want from him? The best he can do is to learn and to continue to give his best. So the future is bright for us now. If Arteta continues to do what he's doing, if the players continue to listen to Arteta, and if the board decides to back them up, look, Arsenal has a bright future ahead.
I think that's the key word. If they continue to listen to Arteta, we hope the management listen to him and give him what he wants. But this episode is the review, the community shield final review, but it's beginning to look like an Arsenal episode because Abe just couldn't join us. Abe was supposed to join us because he was part of the preview yesterday, the episode we had, and he was supposed to be with us today, but he was with us, but network, he couldn't join into the broadcast. But looking at the penalties, when the game went into the penalties, I was like, yeah, anybody can take this. Anybody that wins takes it, deserves it. But it was outstanding performance from Arsenal, really, looking at the gap for the past how many years that Liverpool had left. And Arteta, within this short 8 months, have been able to close the gap. And he has made Arsenal really, really competitive because before, it used to be a whitewash whenever Liverpool plays
Yeah,
Arsenal,
yeah,
5-1, 4-1, 5-3. Even when both teams are playing, Arsenal seems to concede a lot of goals, 4-4, 5-5. We saw the last one at the Carabao Cup. But
yeah,
since when Arteta has taken over, he has only conceded 2 goals in 2 matches against Liverpool. That is really, really, that's something we need to give kudos to Arteta for. And also the penalty shootout, those were lovely penalty shootouts by both teams. Give
yeah,
credit to the Liverpool players. Lovely penalty from Salah, from this other guy. Most of the guys that took, except for Bruce Starr, that hit the ball and the ball hit the crossbar. But even Arsenal too, lovely penalties. And as soon as Aubameyang was about to take the last penalty, I knew this was like a poetic ending to the second trophy
honestly,
for
yeah,
Arsenal.
yeah,
But it's all good. It's all good. We congratulate Arsenal. We wish them the very best in this entire season. We hope all the things that Arteta has been putting into plan, the management backs him up. But from here on Footwith Podcast, on this special episode review, we say congratulations to Arsenal once again, and congratulations to Okpe. It's been a back-to-back, like party after party for you. The FA Cup
Oh,
review, you did it.
look,
Now the
yeah,
Community Shield review,
I'm looking forward to
you
more of it.
did
I'm
it.
looking forward to more of this. Yes, more of this.
Yes. Yeah, so let's hope maybe we'll have a preview for the Premier League champion, and Arsenal will be the champion. Who knows? Who
Amen.
knows?
A big amen to that.
Yeah, so from us here on Football Podcast, it's so sad Abe couldn't connect back on the broadcast. It would have been lovely. So, but it all looked like an Arsenal um, episode. But why not? They are the champions, the FA Community Shield champions. So once again, from me, Ahis, my Twitter is at Ahis, and we're on social media. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram, and also you can watch this broadcast on YouTube. Footy Wit is the name. Okay, you can just sign out.
Always a pleasure. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, take care. Bye.